There's a beautiful verse in this Torah portion, Tamim Tihiyeh, you should be wholehearted, Im Hashem Elokecha, with God your God. Says Rashi, that always follow God with a simple faith and trust, and don't try to investigate the future, but rather whatever happens to yourself, accept it with simple faith, and by this you'll always be with God. The Rebbe once shared that the Baal Shem Tov has a fascinating Hasidic interpretation on this verse. And he says as follows: the word Tamim refers to Torah. As the verse says, Torah Hashem Tamima, that the God's Torah is complete and wholesome. Says the Baal Shem Tov, Tamim, when you are studying the Torah, which is Tamim, you have to caution that you should be with God, your God, and not disconnect. What does that mean? Obviously, when you study Torah, you're connected to God because the Torah is God's light and God's wisdom. So it says the Rebbe as follows: what disconnects a person from God? Ego. When a person is arrogant and has an inflated ego, that disconnects you from God, because by definition there is a reality of God and there's my reality. There's two different entities and we don't merge. Only when one is humble and self-subservient, then you can merge into God's light. Says the Baal Shem Tov, when one studies Torah and becomes very proud and becomes arrogant, look, I became a great Torah scholar, and begins to look down at other people, which means when I study the Torah, that Torah feeds my ego, then says the Baal Shem Tov, that Torah itself causes you to disconnect from God. We have to make sure that when we study Torah, we maintain our humility and we don't get an inflated ego. Only then, when you study Torah, says the Baal Shem Tov, make sure that yes, the Torah is God's light and is God's wisdom and God's will, but make sure that you are connected to God by maintaining humble and being very, very pleasant and kind to everyone. Because when you study Torah, the Torah needs to refine us. It needs to make us into a better person. It needs to humble us. Only then does the Torah cause me to be connected to Hashem. Have a very good Shabbos.